Hello and welcome to Aiden Talks Fandom, the show where I got super stoked when the Joker deleted scene came out, which you should watch. Unless you're a freaking weirdo. Are you? So, I also like to point out this is my first actual video where I'm actually covering something. So, if you want, you can click the subscribe button in my imaginary, which is floating right here, and you can hit the little gray bell next to it so you can get notified when I release new videos, because there's going to be new videos. Anyway, today we're talking Jurassic Park. So, if you're unfamiliar with the franchise, then there's going to be massive spoilers. Dun dun dun, spoiler ahead. Don't complain, you'll end up dead. So, today, we're going to do a brief recap of what's happened so far. So far, there's been paleontologists stuck in a theme park filled with killer reptiles who want to eat them, kids getting endangered numerous times, stuck on stranded islands filled with dinosaurs, opening up yet another theme park because that's a smart idea, getting chased down by a biologically created dinosaur twice, releasing dinosaurs onto the mainland, and now apparently they're doing Yellowstone, except that now it's with dinosaurs instead of horses. That's basically all that's happened in 5 seconds. Or 10. Or 20. So, today I'm going to be talking about Jurassic World Dominion. Because, to be honest, everyone's excited for it. Unless you're a weirdo. Which, like I said, you probably shouldn't. If you're not, you should not be watching this video at all. So today I'm going to be talking about the one dinosaur that might make an appearance in this movie. The one dinosaur that's so dangerous, so much of a threat, that that Universal has not used it since its first appearance. Today, we're going to be talking about Scorpios Rex, also known as the Scorpion King, or as I like to call it, the first Indoraptor, because it's pretty much like they copy-pasted the design for the Indoraptor and made that as they're two things. Shut up about it. So today, we're going to be looking at this deadly dinosaur and see if it might be able to make an appearance. Sit back, grab some popcorn, make sure that you're immune to venom, since this is going to be a bumpy ride. So, before we start talking about the Scorpios Rex and the dino disasters that might happen, we should probably talk about Dr. Henry Wu. If you're a Jurassic Park fan, you probably know this name. If not, here's a brief summary. Henry Wu was a scientist working under InGen, which is the company that basically brought dinosaurs back to life, which is a massive leap, who also made all the Jurassic Parks and worlds, and possibly the Jurassic United Nations, if that's where they're heading next. So, Dr. Wu is the guy who basically created all the dinosaurs on the island. He also was the guy who created the Indominus Rex, and definitely didn't help it escape. Well, some people think that, i.e. Matt Pat from Film Theory, which is another channel. If you like my stuff, you should probably go check out that. Anyway, now let's get into some poisonous dinosaurs that shoot thorns out of their backs, shall we? So, Henry Wu, or as I like to say, Henry Wu, said, under the acknowledgement of Simon Masrani, who's the guy who's in charge of InGen at the time of Jurassic World before, he turns into basically a pterodon show flay. So anyway, Henry Wu, with the acknowledgement of Mr. Masrani, attempted to create a hybrid dinosaur. This was before the Indominus Rex, by the way, if you're anything confused with the timeline. So he attempted to create a hybrid dinosaur. The Scorpios Rex was the first successful hybrid that he created under the request of Eli Mills. Mills is, I don't actually know who Eli Mills is. Mills is actually the guy who wanted to use raptors as basically living tanks. Yeah, the guy who wound up getting eaten by said raptors. Karma hits you bad. Anyway, there was multiple attempts to create the Scorpios Rex, as the notes that Brooklyn, a character from the hit show Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, uncovers holds in the episode The Watering Hole, which had incriminating numbers on each page. 1309, 1310, 1311, and much later in the notes E750. Pages 1309 and 1310 show combinations of the letters used in the DNA sequences, but were not grouped as DNA sequences. It was the first genetic hybrid dinosaur created by Wu, which was before the Indominus Rex and the Indoraptor. Again, timeline stuff. Despite the setbacks, and the fact that Masrani kept claiming the dinosaur was too grotesque, too freaking ugly to put on display. Oh, what gave you that idea? Wu insisted on keeping the hybrid. However, one day, while he was recording one of his video logs, he was attacked by the Scorpios, who jumped out from behind him. And he still wants to keep this thing alive? He must have some brain issues. However, after barely surviving that, Wu eventually came to realize that with the Scorpios' mindless aggressiveness, it was far too dangerous to leave it loose, let alone placed as a park attraction for the public. With Mr. Masrani and that Mills guy deeming the creature to be too unstable, Wu shut down the E750 project and kept the Scorpios in a cryogenic sleep, intending it to never be released again. The secret was heavily guarded, so very few people actually knew of the hybrid's existence. However, throughout Camp Cretaceous, there were small details scribbled around. For example, when one of the kids decided to hack onto Henry Wu's computer, which is another bad idea in this series full of bad ideas, and searches through the computer to find stuff to upload onto her video blog, she finds a folder labeled E750 clinical trial results and decides it to be too boring to talk on her video blog. Don't worry, Brooklyn, that's what I'm here for. And then, 2 days later after that, Eddie, a scientist who worked with Henry Wu on the E750 project, actually inadvertently tells a group of kids about it by saying, he says that Wu had created monsters that no one knew about. Luckily, for all of this time, the Scorpios Rex had been kept in a cryogenic sleep inside of an area on the map labeled Construction Zone, which is a nice way of saying an area where a cryogenic sleeping dinosaur that shoots quills out of its back that can kill a person is kept inside of a tube. Yeah, that's good for kids. Luckily, it's kept inside of a tube. And that is until teens have to do what dumb teens do and accidentally screw everything up. In Season 2 of Camp Cretaceous, while they're trying to talk to their friends on the security cameras, Kenji, one of the main characters, finds an electrical circuit. While investigating said circuit, Kenji gets annoyed by the flashing button, which he proceeded to click until it short-circuited the creature's containment tube, causing the cryogenic chamber to heat up and crack open, which also causing the light to turn off. Yay! Great job, Rich Kid! You screwed everyone over! You screwed it! However, at least it was still in the cage. Oh look! This tiny little compy ripped open a cable that contributed to keeping it frozen, allowing the hybrid to break free and roam about the island. This franchise is just filled with bad ideas. It's just too much bad ideas to bear. Now, at some point after it was freed, the Scorpios Rex asexually, meaning without the smoochy stuff that I can't talk on YouTube due to the algorithm, reproduced at least once, the baby reaching maturity in the wild. As a result of the Scorpios' rampage, people, i.e. the 17s that nobody decided to check on the stranded on an island filled with dinosaurs, noticed that the compies had been avoiding their camp and that other dinosaurs were acting very sus, moving to areas that they don't normally go. And they should have called an emergency meeting to tell them, these guys are just trying to play along. They're phonies! Hey! These dinos are great big phonies! However, eventually, the Scorpios Rex basically goes on a miniature killing spree and also is tracked down by a drone, which it promptly destroys. I mean, it's probably Henry Wu on the other end of that drone. It probably hates its daddy. Later, one of the Scorpios Rexes hunts down a Gallimimus and stores it in a tree, where Darius and a few other Gallimimus find it. Later that day, Scorpios also calls a stampede of dinosaurs, killing a Brachiosaurus, which unfortunately couldn't flee fast enough to escape the hybrid. Click F to pay respects to our poor little buddy, the Brachiosaurus. After wording of the Scorpios Rexes, the whole Henry Wu created a killer dinosaur and now it's loose on the island a thing, the campers create a barricade and an electrical fence via car battery and jumper cables around their camp in case of an attack. And would you know, it attacks. And wouldn't you know, this thing can see heat, so it can see the electricity sparkling in the rain. With its interest piqued, it tests the fence only to find when it gets shocked when it startles the campers. The Scorpius then roars to flush them, then jumps over the fence and climbs the tree to sneak up on them. Ooh, you done got fooled! The dinosaur ambushes the gang, hitting Sammy with its venomous quills and quartering many of the campers before lightning hits a nearby tree and causes it to light on fire, causing it to be like, whoa, fire. I should go near there, that's probably food. And it dips. Just before the Scorpios, noise from the other dinosaurs gets its attention, and that causes to chase him off. Later, when Yaz was trying to heal her bestie Sammy because she got stabbed in the stomach by said quills along his back with anti-venom, it encountered the same Scorpius feeding on a Parasaurolophus. The dinosaur then takes interest in her and roars, causing her to drop the antidote. Yaz barely bends over to pick it up in order to not set off the hybrid, and then sprints with the Scorpius in pursuit, which, that's kinda dumb. Doesn't moving create energy, and that's what the Scorpios is attracted to? These people are just massive idiots. They then get chased, Yaz then gets chased, which, you could have saw that coming, until she reaches a river, which she jumps over like a freaking boss, but sprains her ankle in the process for the second time in this entire series. It's like, first season, breaks her leg. Third season, breaks her leg. Pretty sure if a sixth season comes out, she's gonna break her leg too. The Scorpios easily does the same and then corners her, but is distracted when Ben and Darius, being the absolute insane people they are, use gasoline to blow up a gondola, which roars the hybrid towards it, which would probably have also killed them. And later the exact same night, on Scorpios Rex number 2, which is what I'm going to call it from now on, attacks a herd of Parasaurolophus, which glow in the dark, which is very cool. It tries to attack Bumblebee, but a herd the Encounters defends her and drags it off, as their armor is too thick for the creature's quills to pierce. The next day, Darius and Ben encounter both Scorpios, which begin circling the pair, which is when they find out that there's 2 of them. You done got fooled again! As they circle it, they then attack each other, because why not? They then hide in a penthouse. The car is knocked out by the hybrids. But then they leave, because they're about to die. With them out, the 2 reunite with the rest of the gang and begin planning out a way to kill the hybrids to halt the damage they cause to the island. To that end, Darius fed the tranquilizer gun in the reins of the original Jurassic Park Visitor Center, but then attacked by Scorpios number 1. Darius tries to shoot Scorpios number 1, but suffers a bad case of stormtrooper aim. Bang, with the resulting attack catching the attention of Blue, and then Scorpios number 2. The 3 dinosaurs enter a 3-way battle that ends up destroying the metal scaffolding supporting the building and causing it to fall on top of it. The campers in Blue notice the collapsing building and escape, but Scorpios fail to notice in their battle are then crushed to death. The end. Now, what does this have to do with Jurassic World Dominion? Well, in Dominion, there are several weird-looking footprints that Owen takes notice of while he's busy intimidating cowboys and ranching up some Parasaurolophus. And due to the fact that Fallen Kingdom, at the end of Fallen Kingdom, it is getting, which all the dinosaurs get loose from the island, it is possible that the mercenaries it is possible that at least one of the Scorpios survived the building collapsing, as we see one of them clearly dead, but we can't really tell if the second one is. Which means it could have survived, it could have been taken and used as a basis for the Indoraptor. Which meant it also could have escaped into the wild along with the rest of the dinos at the end of Fallen Kingdom. It also could be causing why those dinosaurs are acting so aggressively as they start following its lead and start taking it as some sort of leader. And it could be like some sort of dinosaur cult thing around the Scorpios as a new king. But then they have to fight against something that they barely know, and then it gets killed via an old-fashioned T-Rex. I mean, it works. I mean, it could work. So there you have it. Poisonous dinosaurs mixed together with escape equals boom, disaster. And that's all for this episode. If you liked this, you can click on this button over here, and you can keep watching more stuff. And bye-bye.